So what's going on, guys, and welcome to our first episode of our new career mode or season on Formula 1, which we are going to be doing with Lewis Hamilton for the Mercedes team. As you see here, we are going to choose Lewis Hamilton over Nico Rosberg. Obviously, I'm English, he's my favourite driver, and therefore I think we should choose him. I'm actually going to go with hard at the moment, which will be the AI difficulty, and if we find it too easy, what we'll do, we'll up it and make it even more difficult. So basically, we can change it further along the line. So we're going to do a normal weekend, which is going to be pretty much 30 minutes practice session, a short qualifying and a 50% race distance. And we don't want to be doing the long weekend because that's 100% race distance. Qualifying full, it's just going to take too long to do that. So we're going to do the normal weekend and you guys will see the highlights. So we are going to do 30 minutes, as you see there. The race settings, what we're going to do, leave them on hard, flashbacks can go off. Vehicle damage, we want pretty much full vehicle damage. I'm not sure what the park firm rules are, I'll have to wait and see what they are. And assists, we're going to leave them as they are. We're going to have actually the automatic gearbox, but obviously we will be braking on our own. And if we find that we're doing well in the season, maybe we can try doing manual gearbox. We have to wait and see how we get on in the first race, which will be, I believe, Melbourne. As you can see here, we're currently sitting in our car. Yes, as you see there, we just got a message from our engineer saying, yeah, that welcome to the team. Basically, we want you to do well and let's get out there and see how you get on. So as you see, we can look around in the garage. Nico Rosberg currently is not in his garage at the moment. They've obviously just sent him out. There's currently no people on the track, so maybe they haven't sent him out. Maybe this is just our own garage. I'm not 100% sure. What we're going to do is go straight out and maybe try and drive out and see how we get on in our first lap for the Mercedes team. So we've just come out the pits now and we're hoping to try and get a feel for the car and maybe put in a good lap time, and maybe because obviously we're Lewis Hamilton, we want to be at the top of the standings. That's our main aim. So we're going to see how we get on and hopefully we can do well. Now come around the last bend here to start our flying lap. We want to get a little bit of room between us and Carlos Sainz because we don't want him to hold us up, and let's see if we can put in a good lap and hopefully be in the top 5 for our fastest lap. So our lap's just started and now we're going to go around the first corner and hopefully Carlos Sainz won't hold us up too much. So it looks like we're going to try and get around Carlos Sainz here, but he's going to really hold us up and he's disrupted us. He's now hit our front left and hopefully that's not going to damage our time, but I knew he was going to cause something because I'm trying to pretty much put in my fastest lap and then we've got a car lapping in front of us doing very, very slow laps, and he's not going to be competing with us in the championship season anyway, and he then goes and holds us up and we do actually have contact, but it looks like there's no damage on our car as we still have full control and hopefully we can do well. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty fast lap. We cut across the corner a little bit there, a bit naughty of us, but we're going to keep on going and the car seems very good. So are we going to put in a quicker lap than what Rosberg do? We put in a 1:32, so we've gone top. We've gone better than Rosberg and we even got held up by Carlos Sainz as well. So I think we could be doing well this season because that was a pretty decent lap considering that we got held up by Carlos Sainz. There are a few more people on the track now. Hopefully they're going to be lapping at a faster pace than what we are and they won't hold us up. But we are doing really well to manoeuvre the corners here. And as you can see here, I have had quite a bit of practice. So I am a lot better at driving. As you can probably see that I'm not flying off the track left, right and centre. I'm following the line and I'm braking well and manoeuvring around the corners extremely well. I see here we go around the corner, accelerate coming out, and we mount the curb a little bit, but we keep going. So this is looks like it could be an extremely quick lap time for us here as we come around the final stages of the lap. We're doing very well. We've got purple sectors in every single sector so far, apart from sector 3. We're going to come around the last bend, try and expertly come round. We come around really well. Can we do the last bend? Come around, mount the grass a little bit, mount the curb. Can we do better than a 1:32 that we just done in the previous lap? And we do a 1:32, so it's actually a slower lap. So that's surprising, to be honest. It's a slower lap, but this is going to be pretty much a warm down lap. We're going to come into the pits, advance the time a little bit, and if we see that we're dropping down the pace, then maybe we'll come out for another lap, just have a few more testing laps. But I'm looking now at going into qualifying because I feel pretty confident with the car and pretty confident of the way I'm manoeuvring myself around the track. So now I'm going to get pushed back into the garage, and I'm very pleased with how we done our first 3 or 4 laps there. I thought we were pretty quick across the track as well. Apart from the little bit of contact we had with Carlos Sainz, nothing major happened. We didn't go too far off track. We held a good line going around corners. We found good speed going around the corners. And we're currently first. We're currently nearly a second quicker than second place at the moment, so we're going to advance the time. There's currently 20 minutes left. It's 24 or 23 degrees, 42 degrees tap temperature, and let's see if we have any rain, but it doesn't look like we're going to have any rain anytime soon. We're now going to be going on to a flying lap, and what we've decided to do is pretty much, and now we've got a very, very slow car in front of us with Ericsson, but what we've decided to do is really put loads and loads of downforce into the car to make the car a lot quicker, and hopefully I'm going to try this because maybe this could be a strategy I could do in qualifying. Put loads and loads of downforce on to maybe make the car go a lot quicker through the straights, and then obviously it's not so easy to manoeuvre around the corners, but it is a lot quicker, so we're going to see if we can beat our time here. But once again, it looks like we could have a car in front of us disrupting our time. And we've lost our front ring. For some reason there were cars stopped out on track. I'm not sure who they are, but there was complete, utter wreckage on the track there. I don't know why. There was just cars suddenly stopped on track. I was overtaking Carlos Ericsson. Not Marcus Ericsson, sorry. And there was completely cars. I went straight into the side of one of them, so I don't actually know who I went into the side of. It may have been Ricardo. I'm actually surprised we haven't lost our front wing, because the amount of impact we had in that crash there, I'm really surprised we haven't. But once again, another crash, and this time I have lost my front ring. It's getting ridiculous now. How can there be so many crashes out on track? And now we've got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Hulkenberg. This is just ridiculous, and this isn't even my fault. So that's it for the first run-out session we've had so far with the Mercedes team. We've currently finished best with pretty much 0.04 of a second quicker than Valtteri Bottas, who finished in second. Nico Rosberg is currently sitting in third, and I thought we'd done very well on the prime tyres, and I'm pleased with that, apart from the havoc that happened on the last lap, where basically I hit 3 cars and then pulled out into the line of Hulkenberg, which you can say was my fault. I didn't see him coming, but to be honest, the contact with the cars in front wasn't anything to do with me, because they were just stopped on track. I couldn't go anywhere. It's either veering off track and smashing into the wall or smashing into the cars, and I decided to smash into the cars. But we're going to move now on to the round 1, which is obviously the Australian Grand Prix, and it is going to be the qualifying session. So we want to get out early in the first qualifying session. What we want to do is pretty much get out the quickest we possibly can to basically avoid other cars on the track. We want to put in a flying lap time early on, and hopefully that could prove crucial to getting us into the top, maybe 5 on the grid places, because it looks like we've probably got a 5-place grid penalty as well. So ideally we want to finish on pole position, which would then put us back to 5th, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. We're currently around the final corner to start our flying lap. We've got DRS enabled, and now can we put in that flying lap to maybe get us pole position? But we're going to execute the first corner to perfection, and we're really getting the hang of this Australian circuit now, and I think we should pretty much get pole. The way we're manoeuvring these corners and the speed that we've got through the straight line and pretty much accelerating out of corners is pretty much sublime. So we are extremely, extremely quick on this lap. We haven't made a mistake yet. We haven't gone off circuit. We're doing really well. We are really following the line as well. We're going to try and go around this corner as fast as we possibly can. Come around the last corner. Can we do this one to perfection? This is the one I always mess up on, but it looks like we've got a good drive out of that corner, and we go a little bit right. We have to pull out a little bit just to save ourselves going into the wall. We're going to try and get the quickest line through, and we do a 1:30. So that is extremely quick now. Maybe we can put in another lap, and this time, can we go quicker? We'll have to wait and see. So if we can get good drive out these last remaining 3 or 4 corners, this surely has got to be a quicker lap time, because we've been flying around this track here. We've got no traffic in front of us. We're doing really well to pretty much brake in the optimum places. We're doing really well to stay on track as well, because that's obviously a big thing that I was struggling with before, but we do really well going around the last corner. Can we perfect the last corner, which we're going to try and do? We cut across the grass. We go full throttle. This time, this should be a better lap. We're doing a maybe get into 129s. We do a 120, yes, 129.752, and this now surely has got to be a pole lap. And now we're going to pretty much lift off the gas, come into the pits and advance the time. If we see that they're starting to catch up a little bit, then maybe we'll come out for one last run, but I very much doubt they're going to be matching 1:29s. That is a lot quicker than what we did in practice, and I'm really happy with how this car's performing around the Melbourne circuit. So as you can see from the timings here, we're currently sitting in pole position and we are 1.4 seconds quicker than our teammate Nico Rosberg and 1.8 seconds quicker than Raikkonen. So we're really pushing it now, and we've done extremely well to get such a massive gap. I can't believe how big a gap we've actually got to Rosberg. 1.443 seconds, and now we've got 10 minutes to reign, and we've only done 2 laps as well, and we're absolutely flying. So with just 2 minutes to go, and we're doing extremely well. I can't believe how well we've done so far. It looks like we're going to get pole position, and it's going to be our first pole position of the season in our first race at Melbourne. But I think we might have a 5-place grid penalty. That's what it previously said, so I'm not 100% sure. But the animations here are absolutely great. I haven't seen them before, where we've actually got pole with our mechanic, I believe that is, actually congratulating us. Lewis Hamilton is so pleased with himself. We pretty much got a 1.443 second gap over Lewis Hamilton, and we're a huge 7.5 second gap over Will Stevens. So that's massive. Max Verstappen in 18th, Fernando Alonso in 14th, Jenson Button 10th, and apart from that, pretty much the normal lineup, with Ferrari lining up 3 and 4. So the Mercedes filling out the front row, and then we got the Ferraris, then we got the Red Bull, Williams, Sauber. So the Sauber, Felipe Nasr done very well actually to get 7th, and then Valtteri Bottas, I think it'd be a little bit disappointed with that one, sitting down in 9th. So we'll have to wait and see if we did get that grid penalty in the end.
Here and here in force for what is going to be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix. What a great start to the season for Nico Rosberg. He's on pole for today's race. He'll be delighted with how qualifying went yesterday, but knows there's a lot of hard work to come before he can secure that race win.
Well, Nico will be focused on the task.
Yeah, so as we can see there, we did actually in fact get a 5-place grid penalty for causing a collision with Hulkenberg, and we're currently sitting on 5th on the grid. Even though we got pole position in qualifying, due to our mix-up in free practice, we did actually get a 5-second grid penalty, which is a little bit disappointing to be honest. I see that Max Verstappen also got a 5-position grid spot, obviously, probably for causing a collision. And then 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th. As you see there, we're currently in 6th. So I don't know why we're in 6th when we've got a 5-place grid. Oh, because obviously, yeah, we're sitting in 6th. So we've got a lot to do now, and we really are going to go for our race win. We're going to have a look at our race strategy. They actually want us to stop around about lap 7 or 8, then lap 17 to 18 stop for our second time, and then the race finish will be done around about lap 29, and the estimated race time is around about 42 minutes. So we're actually going to be starting on the optimum tyre, and then we're probably moving on to the prime unless it starts raining, but I very much doubt that. So we're going to jump into the race, and let's see if we can get a good start. So currently on the grids, the lights are going to go out. We're going to try and get a brilliant start. We're revving up and we get off to a flying start. It looks like we might get Massa. Massa cuts across very dangerously there, but we do very well. We've got an absolute monster of start. Can we go into second place straight away? We cut through, we get loads of room, and we've gone straight into second place. Hopefully we can keep our position. Raikkonen's right behind us, but Rosberg's currently in first. He started on pole position. He had an easy, clean drive away, and we are now going to be chasing him down. So can we get Rosberg going around the corner? We're flat out going around the corner. We're going to try and cut in the slipstream. We're going to come out just on the braking zone. We cut inside. Can we keep the position? We're going to try and hold our racing line. And we've overtaken Rosberg into first place. And we are doing extremely well. Our car must be so much quicker because we're really flying around the track. We've started in 6th place. Straight from the grid, we jumped straight up into 2nd place. And now just as the lap finishes, we take first place, but Rosberg is going to be coming back at us here. We're going to take the defensive line, and hopefully Rosberg won't get the power on us. We're going to try and do a very defensive line there, and it looks like Rosberg has conceded the place to us, and we're now going to race till the end in first position. Hopefully try and pull out a gap, but Rosberg's extremely close to the back of us, and obviously we can't do any erratic moves, otherwise we'll probably get a penalty as well for causing a collision. But we run very wide here. We're going to let Rosberg through, otherwise there would have been contact, but now it looks like Raikkonen's right on our tail, and a little bit of a mistake from us there to let Rosberg back through, and now we've got a lot of pressure from behind. But look how quick our car is. We've already caught Rosberg up again. We're flying around the corners, and hopefully we can try and take Rosberg once again in the dying stage of the lap, because I'm very quick in sector 3. So we're coming onto the home straight here, and hopefully we're going to have DRS. We've gone past it, and unfortunately we were not in the second barrier. Obviously, I've just got it now. I was trying to enable DRS when we were only in the second lap, and obviously it takes 3 laps for it to get enabled. But we were actually within that second barrier as we're chasing Rosberg down. But we have got Raikkonen right on our tail. He's going to be coming down the outside, and we've got to be very careful here. We've got to go defensive, and we want to try and avoid contact. Raikkonen looks like he's going to be coming up the back side of us now. He's actually going up to the inside. He's overtaken us. We're going to try and avoid contact, but it looks like can we go around the outside? We're going to try and undercut him. We cut inside, but it looks like he's got a little bit more drive out the corner, and we're struggling now. I thought we were going to be catching Rosberg, but now Raikkonen's caught up with us, and now we've actually got Vettel right on our tail. We're going to try and cut down the inside, and Raikkonen actually gives us the room, thankfully enough, and we take back the place. So he couldn't actually make it stick. We run right from the corner, but it looks like we'll still do well to regain our place in second. And now we've got to try and keep Raikkonen behind us while at the same time chasing down Rosberg, who's currently the race leader. Raikkonen's hit us. Raikkonen has actually just gone straight into the back of us, and how can we get warning for causing a collision with him? He went straight into the back of us. We've now got a puncture. We've just gone past the pits, and I cannot see how that can be my problem. He went straight into the back of us, and if I get a penalty for that, that is going to be absolutely ludicrous. It looks like we're going to obviously finish pretty much in last place now, because look how slow we're going. We're only going 49 miles an hour. We've got a puncture. I think our right wing's just gone as well. And we're trying to keep out the way. We're going to cut across the corner to obviously try and avoid some contact. And Raikkonen's now going to be coming round. And if he overtakes me, he is seriously going to get piss-taked on. And he has. He's just gone past me. And now we're going to get lapped by the looks of it as the cars come back round, and we are literally going to get lapped from going in second place to getting lapped by Nico Rosberg. We've got the blue flag as well, so Nico Rosberg we have to let through. We're going to try and make our way through to the pits. Obviously we've got to run right in the corner, so we don't want to get in anyone's way. We're going to come into the pits, and Raikkonen has seriously fucked up my race. So we're going to come into the pits, hopefully get a new set of tyres, and maybe try and unlap ourselves, but I very much doubt we're going to be able to do that. So this is going to be a very slow pit stop as well. Looks like we're going to have a new front wing fitted as well. It's just absolutely ludicrous. Raikkonen went straight into the back of me. I was doing nothing wrong. I was on my own line, a 7.5 second spot. So all credit to the team. A very, very good pit stop. But on lap 5, we have to make a really early pit stop, and we've been lapped by virtually everyone. We're going to come out in the middle of the pack to hopefully try and start unlapping ourselves, and hopefully try and avoid contact as well. But we've been lapped by every single car on track, which is awful. We've damaged our front wing yet again. We've run very wide on that corner. We've actually hit the wall. We've really lost steering as well. And Rosberg also went off the track as well. So I think he's obviously had a collision with someone. And now, because I was looking behind, I've nearly gone into the barrier. This has just turned it into a complete disastrous race. We're going to find our way back to the pits now, and maybe even get a new front wing once again, which is just ridiculous. Our race is completely destroyed. We might as well just retire the car. It's that bad. Will Stevens is also coming round, and that's just embarrassing when we've got to let a rider through like Will Steve come back into the pits, and this time they're going to put yet again another new front wing on our car. This time it was actually our fault. I was pushing too hard, didn't see the corner, and now also we've got to wait behind Rosberg because bloody Rosberg's in the pits. So I can start to see the guys in the distance now. It looks like we might be catching up with 19th place, and there's quite a few cars there as well, so I don't know whether they're all bunched up together or it's a mixture within the leaders and other people as well, so you have to wait and see when we do catch them up. But we are lapping significantly quicker than them, so hopefully it won't be long. So for some reason they're telling me to come into the pits. I'm just going to completely ignore the message from my director there, because why do I want to come into the pits? I've already come into the pits twice. There's no need for me to come into the pits again to change my tyres. There's just no need whatsoever. So it looks like we're going to have to pit, because obviously it looks like the first time I come into the pits they didn't actually change my tyres. They're complete dickheads. So they didn't change my tyres. I had to have 2 no front wings. We've actually caught up with Alonso and Ericsson here, so it looks like we're going to unlap ourselves before we come into the pits, and then they're just going to lap us again. So they're currently fighting out. It looks like we're not going to be able to catch them, but we are going to brake a little bit more than them. We nearly go into the back of Alonso as we run wide, pretty much concentrating on coming into the pits now, and this is just turning into an absolute disastrous race for us. Couldn't get any worse. So now it looks like they are going to put some new tyres on lap 12, some brand new tyres, and I don't know whether we're going to have to come in again. So it's going to be a 4 stop for us. I'm not sure. Obviously, we're going to be even further behind the pack now. Raikkonen must have retired because we're currently sitting last. Raikkonen was the one that went straight into the back of us, and we're 49 seconds off the lead. So it looks like we've caught up with the pack again, and hopefully we can start moving up positions. Grosjean's just come out. He's currently sitting in 14th. So obviously, this actually must be to unlap ourselves, which is ridiculous how far behind we actually are. So we actually come down the inside of Grosjean there, a little bit aggressive from us. They had to move out, otherwise there would have been contact between the two cars. But as you see there, we are actually in the phase of unlapping ourselves. So it doesn't look like we're going to move up at all from 19th place, and it looks like we're going to finish rock bottom of the first possible race for us. We're currently 15 seconds off of Massa, which is a long, long way, and we're still on our mission to get ourselves at least unlapped by every car. So we're going to try and cut around the outside of Carlos Sainz here. Do we go up the back of him? We're going to try and undercut him here. We're going to try and pretty much outrun him because I think we've got a lot faster car here. We're going to try and undercut him. Can we get past Carlos Sainz? It looks like we've got a faster car. The DRS is enabled, and it looks like we're easily going to get past Carlos Sainz and unlap ourselves. So hopefully we maybe even be able to try and catch Massa. I'm very, very unlikely about that. It looks like we've actually passed Massa as well, so I don't know what's happened to Massa, but we have actually passed him, so we're now into 18th place. So we've now got to chase down Roberto Merri to maybe... Can we get points? I don't very much doubt it, but there's 2 cars in front of us here. I don't know what 2 cars they are. We'll have to wait and see when we do catch them up. We are actually lapping very well at the moment. The tyres seem in good condition, so do the brakes. So we've gone past Maldonado here. Can we get past Perez in the same move? Maldonado's probably going to try us. Put us off the track, but we're going to try and undercut them here. Can we come inside? Unfortunately we can't. It looks like we're going to take Maldonado as we push him out wide, so we're now unlapping ourselves. Perez currently sitting in 11th place. We're probably going to get him on the last corner as well. We don't want to go at the back of him, but we're going to try and undercut him, which we do. We run a little bit wide. Can we keep track position? Unfortunately Perez cuts back inside, but we should have DRS enabled, and we should now be able to overtake him here. We're going to try and get the slipstream and then come out at the last moment. So we're coming in. Can we get past Perez? We cut out and we get past Perez. Expert move from Lewis Hamilton there, and we're still chasing down Roberto Merri, who may be the next car up the track. We have to wait and see, but I very much doubt it. But there's actually 4 cars further up, so we are lapping extremely quickly, just showing that we have got the potential to win the race if Raikkonen hadn't taken us now in the early stages. We're going to try and come down the inside of Hulkenberg now. Brake a little bit later than him, which we have done, and we've got past Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg was actually currently sitting in 8th, so it just proves how fast we are actually lapping. But for some reason they want us to come into the pits again. Our team, are they currently out to try and destroy our chances of doing anything decent in this race? We're still sitting in 18th place, so obviously we're not going to be able to do anything, but I don't see why they're telling us to come into the pits. What we're going to do, we're going to pretty much wait, and if they say, look, come into the pits, you've got to come in, then obviously I'm going to have to, because obviously they know better than what I do. So I can actually see why they're telling us to come into the pits. Our tyres are completely dropping off. We're really struggling for grip. The drive out the corners is nowhere near as good, and the cars that we've only just overtaken are currently actually going to catch us up. Now I'm going to be coming into the pits yet again for our 4th pit stop, which is ridiculous, and we're actually going to follow, I believe, what might be Vettel into the pits as well. It better not, oh, it's actually Alonso, I'm going to say it better not be Rosberg. So pretty decent pit stop there, 2.6 seconds. We've actually got the optimum tyre on now, so this is pretty much the faster tyre, but are we going to be able to go to the end of the race on these tyres? We better. We easily got a better drive than Verstappen out of that corner there. We're going to try and undercut him. We actually hit his back tyre, so it looks like we might not have any damage. Thankfully, we're going to try and undercut him, which we do, but very sorry to Max Verstappen there. I might have actually damaged his back of the car. I went too far in. I tried to duck out at the wrong time, a little bit too late, but we're starting to unlap ourselves once again. We're coming up to Jenson Button now, who's currently sitting in 11th place. But Vettel is actually sitting in 16th place. So he's actually a long way. He was actually winning the race. So I don't know what happened to him. We're going to get past Button easy here. We're going to pretty much brake a lot later than him, and we easily get past him. So it just proves how fast we're actually going and the potential we had in this race. I actually honestly believed we could have won this race until Raikkonen took us out. But we're going to try and make our way up the field. We've got 9 laps remaining. It doesn't look like we're going to have to come back into the pits. So maybe we can try and make up a few places and at least get up to 15th, which is my main aim or target for this race, is to get into 15th. Getting into the points would be great, but I think that's too big a task. But there's 4 cars coming up here. And actually, Carlos Sainz, we're a lot quicker than all of them. We're catching them so quickly. We're going to try and cut inside. We cut past Carlos Sainz. We run a little bit wide, but we're going to keep the position. Well, it's not position. Unlap ourselves. Maldonado currently sitting in 6th as well. Looks like we're going to overtake him on the final lap here. We're going to undercut him, which we do easily. We're going to run a little bit wide. He's probably going to cut back inside, but the speed we're going to have coming out the corner is going to be a lot quicker. And we actually come into the pit lane. And well, oh, I can't believe it. We got a 3-second penalty. Looks like we're actually going to unlap ourselves against Rosberg here. We go up the back of him. Looks like we might actually get a penalty for that one as well. But we actually unlap ourselves from Rosberg, which is great to see because Rosberg was a current title. He has a title threat to us. Obviously, I don't think we're probably going to win the championship in our first season because I'm not that good at the game. I'm pretty decent, don't get me wrong, but I'm not that good. But we actually unlap ourselves up against Rosberg. Just proves how quick we actually are. I've said that so many times in this video, but it is true. We are lapping so much quicker than everyone else, but just due to Raikkonen running up the back of us, getting a 5-place grid penalty, and then having a puncture, having a new front wing again. Absolute disastrous first race for us, and it looks like I've underestimated how far actually the people are in front of us. I've been lapping so quick, and Mary is nowhere to be seen, so I don't actually know where he is. We've actually caught up with Massa and Filiberto Meri, thankfully, and hopefully it looks like we might be able to overtake Meri and move up into 17th place, which is what we want to do. We're actually going to take a risk as well, move our fuel up into rich to make us a little bit quicker as well. Looks like Massa's actually gone past Meri as well, so Meri must be lapping quite slow, and I think due to them two battling, it's allowed us to catch up. We've caught up, and now it's our turn to take Meri and Felipe Massa. So coming up the inside of Meri here is give us plenty of room, and we've taken Meri, and now the next one is Felipe Massa. We've currently moved up into 17th place. It doesn't look like we're going to move up any more positions, so I think Will Stevens is too far down the track. Massa got a very poor drive out there. We easily go past him, and now we move through the field, and we're up into 17th place, but we're 33 seconds off of Will Stevens, so we're never going to catch him with 5 laps remaining. So with just 2 laps remaining, we're really struggling with our tyres. We're really losing the back end. Every time we go around the corners, we're struggling to try and hold the car together. It doesn't look like we're going to catch Will Stevens either. He's 25 seconds down the line. We're struggling to keep the car on track. Our tyres completely dropped off. It's a lot longer stint that we've done on the optimum tyres, and we're really struggling to keep the back end in track with the front. And as you can see here, as we go around the corners, we're really losing the back end. We cut back inside, and normally we'd stay on the track there, but we're losing the back end. Our tyres are completely dropped off, and they're really deteriorating. As you can see at the top of the screen, Valtteri Bottas has recently just won the Grand Prix at Australia, so unfortunately for us it wasn't a good weekend. It looks like we've been lapped as well, so obviously the race winner was Bottas. We're not going to be able to move up into 15th place, which is what we wanted. We finished in 16th. We actually get the fastest lap of the race as well, which is good to see. It doesn't look like we're going to be allowed to do any more laps, which I very much doubt obviously, and we're not. So we finished in 14th place. So Will Stevens, I don't know what happened to him, I don't know whether he crashed or anything, but we finished in 14th place. As you see us getting out our car, very disappointing race weekend for us. Absolute disastrous. With first of all, we got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Hulkenberg, and then Raikkonen went straight into the back of us and completely destroyed our race. So as you see here, we actually finished in 15th place. We got 2 6-second, or we got 2 3-second penalties. Raikkonen did not finish. Nico Rosberg got disqualified, so I'll have to wait and see why he got disqualified. And very poor from us. We actually 1 lap behind Marcus Ericsson upwards, and we didn't get any points. So at the moment, the race winner, Valtteri Bottas, is leading the championship. Here is the replay of our actual crash with Raikkonen. So we're actually on board with Raikkonen. What we're going to do is actually going to put it in so you can see even better. So as you see here, Raikkonen's currently coming out the corner. We are doing a lot faster than him. Then he suddenly cuts across. He completely poleaxes us into the barrier. We come flying across, nearly make contact. We actually punch our tyre in the process as well. So if you go back a little bit more, you'll be able to see it in more detail. So this is on board with him. He gets a better drive out. He cuts across. We do nothing wrong. We take our normal racing line, and Raikkonen comes straight across, completely takes us out, and then obviously we completely get destroyed. And then as you can see further down the line, he comes down and then he overtakes us, as we have actually got a puncher. As you see there, we're currently in front, got a puncher. Raikkonen goes wide as well, so obviously he's got a problem, but he still overtakes us. So that is pretty much the story of our race weekend. Absolutely disastrous. eventful, don't get me wrong, eventful first weekend. We currently finished in 15th place and we failed to achieve our objective, which is obviously true because it was a very, very poor race for us. And now we're going to be moving into the next race, which will be, we have to wait and see who it is.
Start today's practice session, which will be in typically wet conditions here in Kuala Lumpur. The excitement and disappointment of the last race will soon be forgotten as the teams focus on getting the most out of their cars. So after the first race, how do you think this season will compare to previous years?
Well, I hope that we're in for a fantastic season. The Mercedes team have certainly come out of pre-season testing the strongest, which is all well and good, but it's the racing where the pace really...
So let's see here, the next race is the Malaysia Grand Prix. It is actually currently raining as well, so we're going to be testing in the rain. But I actually really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button down below, as it's going to be hugely, hugely appreciated. A very eventful first race weekend, but hopefully it will improve from now on, because I don't think that crash was actually our fault. So like I said, hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you're new. Thank you, bye bye.